Simonan, guys. So I was asked to give an opinion around what's happening with Floyd and the whole EFF saga. Everybody knows that my view on South African politics is one where I don't believe in this system. I think in South Africa, our political system is just corrupt to the core. As I've said many times, I destroyed my ballot as a cry. We just have shit parties who are doing absolutely nothing for the masses. They're doing nothing for the working class. They're doing nothing for the middle class, and they're only catering for the political elites and the upper class. The rest of us, we are fucking screwed. So with that being said, what is my opinion around the Floyd Shivambu? Look, again, this is a game. This politics is a game. For those that don't know, Floyd is a founding member of the EFF. He and Julius Malema started it in 2013, if I'm not mistaken, when Julius was expelled from the ANC under Jacob Zuma. He left and then started the ANC. Floyd was not expelled, by the way. He joined Julius just as a brotherhood type of thing, and him believing in the goals of the EFF. He then joined in as deputy, whereas Julius then became the CIC. Now here's the problem. This is the problem with South African politics. There's no real succession plan. So if we look at the IFP, you've got Umangosutu Buthelezi, who was head of the IFP for how many years? You look at COPE, where you've got Tera Lekota, who is head of COPE for how many years? You look at EUDM with Olomisa for how many years? There's no succession plan. There's no succession plan. So again, if you're a young lion, ambitious lion, one who wants to grow their career, and the guy who's the head of it is going to stay for 40 years, obviously it's going to cause a little bit of friction. And that's where I believe with the whole Floyd thing, that's the problem. Julius has been the head of this thing for 11 years. For 11 years. So now you think about it, if he's young, if he's ambitious, and in this country, people only get into politics because they are powerful, money hungry. There's not a single person that I know, maybe you might know, but there's not one that I know that got into politics purely saying because they're going to help people. I actually just want to help people. I want to help my community. Therefore, I will campaign and I'll run politics. I've never heard one person. Never, ever in my life, 35 years, people that want to help, they go find a charity or what, they help like that. I've never heard a person saying, I'm joining the ANC because I want to help people. They all want power and money. That's South African politics. And Floyd is no different in terms of he wants to grow his political career. And if he wants to grow his political career, he's been deputy for 11 years. Where's the next step? Where has it been? So the EFF have a conference, or they have some sort of gathering at the end of the year. Wasn't correct are the ones that are more politically au fait. And the whole conspiracy, I guess, or the whole rumors were that Floyd was going to try and challenge Julius as CIC and be the head of EFF. So this entire time, going from last year and the year before, Julius has been trying to strengthen his support within the EFF, making sure Floyd carries the fall for so many things that are not going well with the EFF, so that people have backing. EFF members have backing of Julius. So if you look at the branch, the Zimbabwean branch, for those that don't know, there's EFF Zimbabwe. So the EFF Zimbabwean branch is heavily behind Julius. The EFF Swaziland branch is heavily behind Julius. God knows why they have branches in other countries, because those countries can't vote in our elections. So that's a conversation for a different day, but it is what it is. So they heavily back Julius. So again, he was trying to do this because he felt Julius that come the end of the year, when they have the EFF, whatever it's called, Floyd will then try and challenge him. And in challenging him, fall flat on his face because he's got all the structure behind him. Last week, not even sure on the date, the 15th, I think that was the Thursday, if I'm not mistaken, they had a press conference, and Floyd then said he is leaving the EFF and joining Mkhonto weSizwe. So Mkhonto weSizwe is a political party that has been said to be backed and headed by Jacob Zuma, headed by Jacob Zuma. It is very much a Zulu traditionalist party as it's been defined. Umkhonto weSizwe, there's a lot of controversial debates around the name, saying that it should be illegal because it has ANC, blah, 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 and Umkhonto weSizwe was the military arm of the ANC. So again, the name is being disputed, but again, it's been pushed a lot by Jacob Zuma and the Zuma family and other political members that left the ANC to join the MK party. So Floyd has moved now. He said, look, very, very well written a statement piece that he did, saying that he doesn't want people's name being thrown into disarray. He doesn't want there to be a back and forth or any type of arguing around that. And he just wants to be as respectful in his transition towards Umkhonto weSizwe. I saw his Instagram, I think, or his Twitter has now changed with the MK within a day, changed within the background and the colors. You know, this is again as a founding member of the EFF, now moving to the party that expelled his then CIC Julius Malema. So it's so crazy. And then he followed, leaving the ANC, who again was being run and led at that time by Jacob Zuma, to join this Jacob Zuma a party. You know, with that being said, it's also happening within this whole coming up again of EVPS, that mutual bank that people squandered cash from, of which the names that came up was Floyd Shivambu's brother, which is Brian, what's the guy's name, Motodzi, I think, Motodzi, who was the chairperson of the bank. So there's been a lot of controversial around the VBS bank. Julius Malema, the card was seemingly following him around, and he then used Floyd's brother Brian, saying, well, Brian was always with me, you know. Brian is like my brother, you know. So Floyd is my brother, Brian is my brother. So I was with him everywhere, and he was the one that was utilizing the card. So again, Floyd's brother being thrown under the bus by Julius. You know, if anything, I love my brother, and if I can hear another man constantly throwing his name and my name under the bus, I'll feel a type of way, you know. So there's that. So Floyd then he's left, as well as Umzwanele Chemi Mani, who again, like when he left, no one, or left the EFF for them contests, no one was shocked with him, you know, because he's always been the spokesperson of the Jacob Zuma Foundation. At the time, he was the spokesperson for Jacob Zuma. So he's heavily entrenched in ANC and Ubabu Kedle. So with him leaving the EFF, what the fuck was he doing in the EFF in the first place? You know, so that's weird. So the moment he's got a chance to leave, boom. There's been other names that have been spoke about that might potentially leave, and Rosie, for example. So again, these are all big hitters within the EFF. Looking at that press conference when Floyd was offloading and telling how he's going to leave, looking at Julius' face, you could see what he's unwell. You know, the rumors about Julius going to Floyd's home, getting there at 10 at night and leaving at like 3 in the morning, trying to convince him to stay, is crazy. You know, so we hear that, those type of things, and there's rumors why Floyd is moving. So we're being told if he leaves, he might become the president of Umkhonto weSizwe, and he might be heading up policy and governance, you know. So again, he's given full control of the Umkhonto weSizwe movement, something that Julius has been notorious for within the EFF. You know, it's Julius way or no way or the highway. So again, it was always around that within the EFF, and those are rumors. Julius is just Julius. He makes all the decisions, from the colors to if we're having tea or coffee or mategi. Julius made every single decision. Yeah, so now Floyd has a chance to go and run his own political party, and have full control of that movement, which is from a career point great. It's absolutely phenomenal. And as much as I criticize the EFF, and I criticize the EFF zombies, zombies in the sense that they're just blind followers, there's also MK zombies, there's also ANC zombies. These again are speaking to people who blindly follow a party, who don't know the manifesto, who don't interrogate certain things, who don't look at things rationally. They're just like, kono zuma lapa, that means we're zoom. Hey, kono malema lapa, that means those are the zombies I'm talking about. So what's great with Floyd, in my humble opinion, by him going and potentially heading the MK is known as a Zulu tribalist party. Floyd is a Tsonga boy from Limpopo, so we can just imagine this Zulu party being head by a Tsonga guy. That's so amazing, because again, you can just imagine these conversations around very, very derogatory conversation. Imagine uzozwa ngalo-ke lelo hlanganeke ilona-ke head yenza-ke into ozoyenza because ulandi umsholo ozomfaka lapho. So that's so great in terms of breaking down this whole stigma of Zulu tribalist parties, which is great for them. It's a great political move. Again, you're opening up the whole Limpopo, the whole Limpopo audience, if I can call it that, or population, to be part of MK and feel like we've got one of our own, and in the rest of the country realizing, look, as much as they can be tribalistically Zulu, they are getting a Tsonga man to run their political party. Floyd, like Julius, like Ndlozi, like Umanyi, these guys are incredibly intelligent. As much as you can see the theatrics that they do, sing, dance, do all of these things, they are incredibly intelligent. Much like Uzuma, who is a master strategist, Uzuma having been head of intelligence of Mkhonto Wesizwe, now again behind the scenes being very, very strategic with his next steps. So Gim is just such an interesting move, and then the landscape of South African politics. I, as Penson, still call bullshit for all of this, because I, as Penson, have never really seen the shit that these political parties do. I haven't seen one thing that MK has done for the masses of KZN. I haven't seen what they've built. I haven't seen if there's a clinic that they've built in KZN. I haven't seen them like hand out napkin. I haven't seen them hand out pads. I haven't seen them hand out glasses. I've seen the MK do nothing. Maybe they've done amazing things. I haven't seen it. I haven't seen the fact that EFF has built a school back in Limpopo. Maybe they've built 1,000 schools. I don't know. I don't hear about this. I just hear them bitching and moaning all day. All the EFF that I see them do is whenever there's some racial thing, is that they go to that place, sing, and then we feel like something is happening. We don't know if there's a policy change, but it's great to have their faces there. So it's a big PR thing. And that's why politics, I think, is such a fucking game. It's just smoke and mirrors. It's always been smoke and mirrors. These guys are making big cash behind the scenes. These guys are making big moves behind the scenes. And all they do is that they split us. There's guys that are going to be swearing at me on the comments. You don't know. There's guys that are going to be loving me on the comments. Brad Penson, all they're doing is they're splitting us. The EFF guys are grumpy. Instead of us coming together and realizing, we can do these things. We might not be able to change, as Penson, the whole world or the whole of South Africa, but I can tell you, me and my neighbor and the 5 of us that live in the same, we can make some changes that affect our lives on the daily. We can put together money and fix the potholes within the streets leading to our complex. We can actually go buy Jojo tanks for when there's water loading. We can actually come together and make a difference to our lives. And if we can do it, then we open up to the next 10 people, then to the next 50 people, then to the next 100 people, the next 1,000 people. All of a sudden, my area is actually very, very successful. I'm not relying on an MK. I'm not relying on an NC. I'm not relying on an EFF. I'm not relying on any of these political parties, because all of these political parties sell you dreams. They are very good at talking, but they're very, very shit at actually doing. They're actionables. We've been promised every fucking thing in this world. We've been promised fucking the best of the best, and we've been given nothing in return. As I say, no shade to anyone. We promised the world and they delivered us Boxburg. In fact, they delivered us less than that. They delivered us Madadin 7, because all it is a vocal word. Jiva, hey, and then we get excited. Hey, Msholo is such a charismatic. What is he doing for the masses? What can I count? If I go back into my hometown, Msholozi did that, Julius did that, DA did that. If I can point what they did, I'd start voting. If I could see the little kids that are coming up and they're all carrying little backpacks written, sponsored by DA, or something that is practical for the masses who are struggling, I would vote for them every day. But all they do is that they shut the fuck up until a couple of months before elections, give us t-shirts, and then all of a sudden we do free advertising wearing their t-shirts. We fight each other. My team is better than your team. Wish my team wins. And then all of that's man. Anyway, let me know what you think about the whole Floyd movement. Write there in the comments. Think if it's going to make sense. If you like me and you just think that politics is a game of division, divide and conquer. If you like me and you think that politics is just all about them making money and the rest of us just being their pawns, also write that in the comments below. Please guys, if you can, share this video far and wide. Thank you for everybody who's been sharing videos of mine. I've seen them on Twitter, I've seen them on TikTok, X. I've seen little clips around, so I'm truly humbled by that. Ngiyabonga, guys. Please continue doing that. If you've not yet subscribed, hit that subscription button and hit that notification bell. Anyway, guys, have yourselves a fantastic day. I'm out.